Anime for blondes.
We got Tida and Azuma crumbs.
Not really a crumb, it was more like a bite.
Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Allie.
And welcome to Anime for Blondes.
The girly pop podcast made for girls, gays, theys, and blondes.
Blondes is crucial. Hello, you guys. We are back another week recapping You and I Are Polar Opposites Season 2, Episode 6 today. Before we get into the episode, make sure you are subscribed, whether you're watching this on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, rate, review. You know the drill. Just helps us know that this is actually being seen by people. I'm so excited to get into this episode, but I know that we both have watched a specific movie recently that we want to chat about real quick, Allie.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen it at this point
I
because
hope so.
it broke Endgame's record for opening weekend.
That was crazy. Like, Tom Holland just being the new Iron Man, basically.
And then, I mean, like, they set that up,
Yeah.
like, from the very beginning, I think.
But, like, for it to actually... Because I'm not even saying in the Marvel Universe. I'm saying, like, in our real world. Like, that's not even a spoiler, guys. I'm saying, like, in our world, like, Robert Downey Jr. was kind of the glue that, like, kept people coming back. And he was, like, really passionate and had his hands in the Marvel Universe so much. And I feel like they haven't had a turnout like this in a while. And it's like, for the fourth Spider-Man movie...
Never been done before, by the way.
Like, that's crazy.
So, little known fact is, Spider-Man was my first love. Even before Peter Pan, Spider-Man was my first love, the Tobey Maguire movies. And there has never been a Spider-Man movie that I didn't like and become obsessed with. So I just feel like, I don't know, actually maybe that makes me a really bad judge of if something's a good Spider-Man movie, but I was gonna say I think I'm like the ultimate judge of Spider-Man. Because I'm like, no one loves him like I do. But it was like the most Spider-Man-y feeling movie since his first one, I think.
Yeah, I always loved Spider-Man too. I just feel like I love the, like, I don't know, it's just a more fun, like, story than some of the other superheroes, I feel like. Like, it's just such a cute, like, he's just such a sweet character, and I don't know, I really, like, yeah, like, I've seen all the Spider-Mans as well. I really feel like Tom Holland, man, like, he kind of took it. He's kind of Spider-Man.
He is, and he did. When I think of Spider-Man now, I don't think of, like, I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was, like, I think objectively, like, the, like, hottest rendition. Like...
True. Because he's Andrew Garfield.
Because he's Andrew Garfield.
With
he
Emma
just had, like,
Stone.
the most sex appeal right away. Yeah, exactly.
And he was also the one that was in college, not high school. So, you know, we're appropriate.
Exactly. Like, I guess we also grew up watching Tom Holland because it's been ages at this point. Because he's our age.
I guess I've kind of seen all the Marvel movies now, like, for a while, but I hadn't seen, like, any of the Marvel movies for a long time until, like, 2020 or 2021. It was when WandaVision came out that I went and I watched.
I was like, it's because you watched
the,
WandaVision.
Yeah, like, all of the movies. So I hadn't seen any of the Spider-Man movies before then.
That's crazy.
And yeah, they're just all so good.
They're so
and Tom
good.
Holland
I love Spider-Man as a superhero, like, specifically because it's like Florence Pugh said, like, he deals with small potatoes, not big potatoes. He's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And Spider-Man's, like, a coming-of-age story of, like, trying to be responsible and become a man. And...
It's funny, Taylor, after we saw this new one, because we watched all the old movies, like, leading up to it, and then we saw the movie, and afterwards he was like, he was like, it's kind of the same story every movie, like, and it's still good, but it's like, it's him being like, no, I don't want to be that thing. I'm not going to do that. And then, like, by the end, he has to come to terms with being that thing or doing that thing. Every
But is
single
that
movie. It's
not just
so
always
funny.
a constant battle?
I think that's his constant battle.
I was like, is that not just like something we're always like dealing with throughout life?
I
You
feel like
know,
there's it's like that's his own little hero's journey that he has to have every movie.
but it still hits. It still hits every time.
Exactly.
And okay, you'll remember I guess almost 2 years ago at this point when we were watching Jujutsu Kaisen. And I was like, do you know what I love about Yuji that I didn't realize now, but what makes him so endearing to me is he reminds me so much of Peter Parker. He's just like Spider-Man, especially in how
Yeah.
he fights. And what do you know? All of a sudden, with this new Spider-Man movie on TikTok, all of a sudden everyone's opened their eyes and have started making a bunch of Yuji and Spider-Man edits. And I'm like, yes, exactly. First of all, absolutely correct. But also, where's my credit for this?
Well, and also people have started uh comparing it to X-Men as well. And I'm like, I said that years ago.
You did. You did say that. You said ages ago that Gojo and Gato are Professor X and Magneto.
Literally. Like
You said that.
we've been making the comparisons.
And you know why we were able to make those comparisons? Because we didn't just grow up watching anime and we didn't just like watch American superhero media. You know, you've always loved X-Men. And it's like, and we had the ability first before anybody else, clearly. You can go back and check the tapes. Um, we were able to bring that perspective and compare it that way before anyone else could.
No, I think we just understand most things at a higher level than most people is the thing. And that's why
First thought?
we have the audacity and why we should have this podcast because people need us to explain the anime to them.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
on the topic of Spider-Man, first of all, it is absolutely criminal that you haven't seen My Hero Academia. Like, you need to watch My Hero Academia. It is actually like to the point where, because like we're rewatching it again. We originally watched it. That was my first ever anime that I watched, you guys, just so you know. I like caught it was my first cosplay. Loved it. But it was at the end of the fifth or sixth season. So there's I think that there's the sixth season and then there's the final season is what they call it, the final season. I think that's how it might be 7 and final season, but whatever last 2 seasons weren't out yet by when we first originally watched it. So we watched up until we could, and then we were waiting for like the dub to come out, and then we just kind of like got busy watching other things. I started watching way more anime, watched all of Attack on Titan, started this podcast. Here we are. So we decided to rewatch it recently, and we're finally at like near the end of the second to last season, and the final season is only like 12 episodes, I think, instead of like a full like 21 to 24 episode season. So it is heating up, and it is to the point where I'm like, I feel like everybody thinks about My Hero Academia as being this like silly, just like cute, like just very like it's very made fun of. I feel like it's kind of seen as like that's kind of a cringe anime to watch, but it is like actually peak. It is so good. And I'm like, I cannot believe that everybody is not talking about, I can't believe that this isn't talked about in the same way that like Attack on Titan is talked about, because it is just like so beautiful and so genius and so good. And you would love it. And it is like anime classic. And it's criminal that you haven't watched it.
I'm sorry, but you just said, first of all, 21 episodes per season, and then it's like 5+ seasons.
That's every anime.
It's not the anime I watch. Every anime I watch is like
You're trying to get me
maybe
to watch Fruits Baskets.
yeah. That's one anime that I love that has like that many seasons and episodes. But like all of the anime that I'm constantly consuming is like 13 episodes per season. Usually they have one season, two at the most. Okay, I'm so sorry. This is uh a little bit off topic, but one of those that I started watching is called Though I Am an Inept Villainess. And it's like Apothecary Diaries setting. So it's, that era of China. Um, but it's a villainess anime, but it's like a unique villainess anime where it's like no one got isekai'd, but the villain and the main character switched bodies via
Mm.
dark magic. But um our boys KG Tang and Alex Lee are both in it, and Alex Lee is playing the who I suspect is going to be the actual romantic lead. And so I'm just very excited. His character also has blue eyes and dark hair, so he's sticking to his um handsome boy trope, but I don't
Does his
think
character have two personalities?
that's what I was going to say. I don't think his character has two personalities. Not this
Okay.
time.
Interesting.
We'll
A
see. We'll
departure from
see.
his usual thing.
Yeah. He loves to play split
I know.
personalities.
But anyway,
But I'm just
back to my
saying.
point. You need to watch My Hero Academia. It is such a classic. It's like actually criminal that you haven't watched that or Attack on Titan. But My Hero you would actually like really love. Like Attack on Titan is like very serious and deep. Like
I,
everybody would love that. But
I
you would
was gonna
specifically
say,
love the characters in My Hero.
yeah, I was gonna say if I have to, like gun to my head, if I have to watch My Hero or Attack on Titan, I definitely would rather watch My Hero.
You would love My Hero. It is so good and the
I mean, like
characters
I
are
love
so good.
superheroes,
Exactly.
so I don't
That's what
know.
drew me to it originally is the superhero aspect. And it is
Right.
so sweet, like the healthy male friendship and like the sweet moments between the boys, like you would be crying, you'll be sobbing.
That's a good point. I do like that. That's what I loved about this Spider-Man movie is because it
Hmm.
had, I think, more than the other Spider-Man movies, a really good example of like positive male friendships and like masculinity.
I love to see that and like I know like Tom Holland is just the perfect character to or the perfect actor to be like showing healthy male emotions.
I know, Mr. Zendaya.
But
That's
I feel
also
like they are
true.
so like especially suited for each other. Like it feels like both of them were just like made in a lab for each other, and I love that.
And so I was thinking about that with, romance anime and like love stories in general that we're watching. But like high school romance anime, like you and I are polar opposites, which is what we're here to discuss in case anybody forgot. Um, like why we are so excited to see these high school couples get together and you know we're like, okay, in real life, they're in high school, so they're probably gonna break up eventually. So it's like, why are we seeing this specific love story, like these two characters being together when like they've had past relationships? Why don't we see those past relationships? Why don't we see who they get together with in college? But it's because like this when this is like the love story they're choosing to tell, it's because uh they're each other's true loves. Um and I was just thinking about that. I was like, why are we watching these love stories? Um and it's like because when you're engaging in a romance story, it's an unspoken rule that they are meant to be together, and they're each other's true loves, and that they won't break up unless you're
Yeah.
watching fucking La La Land.
Yeah. Well, and that's a rule of romance, the romance genre, is that there has to be a happily ever after. And I like that rule, and I it always kind of annoys me when there's like a discussion, and it always happens, of like, okay, what characters, what couples from this thing do you think actually made it? What couples from this author do you think actually like stayed together? And it's like, all of them. Like, what do you mean? I'm not gonna be like, that couple sucked and they definitely broke up. Like, that is just not fun for me. They cease to exist, or they are living their little lives happily ever after, and I don't have to think about them anymore. Like, that's it. And it's the same argument of like, I don't know, like, I love to have discourse and discussion about like books and stuff that I love as much as the next girl. But sometimes I'll see people that just are like, why did this character do this in the book?
Because
And
that's
I'm
who
like,
they are.
because that's how the author wrote it. Like, that's the story. I don't know what to tell you. Like, sometimes it is that simple of like, that is what the story is. And like, people are like, oh, how convenient that you read a book like Hunger Games and of course the main character is like special. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's
because
the story.
why would there be a book about a character that's not special? Like,
And even the stories that go out of their way to talk about normal people. There's a whole the Lego movie. That's a whole thing in the Lego movie too.
when we're being told these stories for like a reason, like it's like, because this is the story that we are being told currently. And even if these like, I think, you know, maybe with like high school couples like this, maybe not all of them are each other's true love, but it's like, we're watching them in high school and we're watching this story, and we're watching like, this story and this relationship is significant to them for some reason, and that is fine. That is special
Mhm.
enough. Not every relationship has to be like for a lifetime. And I think it's well agreed that first love is so just like palpable, and it's such a good thing to tell a story about, because we all felt that, and we all felt like how all encompassing it was, and it's never like that again. And so it's really fun. That's why it's like still can hook you to watch these high school characters, because we all still remember like how it felt to have your first big crush and your first love and your first boyfriend.
And the promise of happily ever after and like romance stories, I think that honestly makes me feel a lot more validated. Like I feel very hopeful for Taira and Azuma, because it's like maybe it's like everyone's like they won't actually get together, they won't actually get together, but I'm like, mm, rules of romance say that they have to. Um and we actually got like our first like hard evidence, not just like us watching them interact and being like, oh, they're soulmates. It's them in their heads thinking, wait a damn minute. I have feelings about this person. I'm sorry, I have to go back. The thing you said about you don't like to imagine couples in romance stories and like being like, do you think they stayed together? Or like, were they or did they break up? The one couple, I will say, I hope they broke up, and I don't want them to. Ross and Rachel,
Oh my gosh.
they're
You
my
don't want them to stay
exception.
together for the sake of the kid?
Literally, no. That is my least favorite thing ever. I'm like, if they were gonna stay together, if they were gonna get back together and stay together, it should have been when they first had the baby, instead of once again breaking up and getting back together and breaking up, and then in the end they're together. And I'm like, okay, Rachel, just go to Paris.
But she got off the plane.
They got off the plane. Okay, you should have stayed on the plane. That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's so
Anyways,
hard. It's so hard with stuff like that, though, because it's like, well, no, because that's kind of the idea of all like love stories and romance stories is they needed to go through whatever they went through in that story in order to be together happily ever after. Like, that's kind of the premise. And so it's like, you look at Ross and Rachel, and even though they had this super toxic relationship, it's like, but we are under the premise and the idea that they needed to have that on again, off again toxic cycle in order to get to this final place where they can be happily ever after. And so it's always so conflicting because it's like, okay, so am I using this? Am I like judging this based on real life and what I would tell my friend in this situation? Or am I judging this off of the show premise?
And that's the thing, being able to watch something and like not just like enjoy it by like not thinking about it, but like watch something and like not apply your very real life morals to this fictional TV show and these fictional characters is really important to how you consume anything.
The fictional characters didn't just fall off of a coconut tree, you might say.
Exactly.
They exist in the
I miss her.
context of everything.
They exist in the context of the world in which they were written.
Exactly. But yeah, that being said, we got Tida and Azuma crumbs.
Honestly, it was kind of less really a crumb. It was more like a bite. I feel like it was a bite of Taira and Azuma.
It was kind of a bite. It wasn't quite a whole cookie, but it was like, it was a nice sized bite.
Yeah. Like it was a good yes. And I feel like we're gonna get the rest of the cookie as time goes on. But again, it's not gonna be, we're not gonna get the whole cookie at once like we did with Tani and Suzuki. But like we're gonna get a bite at a time. And so this episode did have White Day, but it wasn't just about White Day, which is what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because like last week was pretty much like, this is the Valentine's Day episode. Here's what all the couples are doing for Valentine's Day, and here is Yamada and Nishi becoming official. This was an interesting episode. It almost felt like they wanted it to be the season finale.
Yeah. Well, and it is halfway through the season, so it is kind of maybe like an ending point.
That's actually so true. Because they're talking about, so it's March now, which and so they're like, okay, so they had final exams, and Nishi on the slide tells Yamada he needs to study harder because he gets to move on to the next grade, but only by the skin of his teeth. And she's like, and let's not make it as stressful next time because you can't be my underclassman. Sorry.
No, she's literally like, let's not make this as stressful for graduation, please.
Yeah. Like, let's study a little bit harder. But you know what? I think he will study harder. I think that's a good motivator for him.
Exactly.
So it's exams and then obviously like graduation for the older students. So our cast are gonna be third years the next time we see them, I do believe.
Yep. And is that the last year?
Huh? Yeah, third year is their last year.
Okay. Yeah, because they were talking about it and they were like, it's so crazy to see them gone. Like, that's going to be us next year. And I was like, wait, is that their last year? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking. So presumably they're going to be in like different classes, so they might not be all together anymore.
Yeah, they might not all be together. But I mean, I think for the sake of story, they'll probably all be together. And I'm like, actually, what would be a more interesting arrangement?
Maybe they'll put Yamada and Nishi together.
Yeah, maybe Yamada won't be. Oh, that might be a good storyline for him. He's like not in the same class as all of his friends anymore. So even though now he has a girlfriend, he like misses his friends and he's starting to feel left out because he's such a social guy.
That could work. I was getting nervous if Suzuki and Tani get split up. I'm scared. I like them sitting next to each other.
I like them sitting next to each other too. I do think I think it would be cute to see them walking to each other's classrooms and like just spending any moment that they're not in class together, since they
True.
don't have that time anymore. Um and like writing each other notes.
That
Um
could be cute.
but I think the most likely scenario is it'll probably just be like the same arrangement or very similar. And like maybe one of them gets moved to a different class with Nishi.
Or maybe Nishi just gets moved into a class with them and it's like all the same except
Yeah.
for Nishi's added in.
Or we get Gazpacho. Gazpacho moves into our class.
Yeah, I need to know more about this guy. Love him.
Anytime he's name dropped, I'm like it's
No,
just
that is
one
like
of those
such a
stupid
funny
gags.
little bit. I love that.
It's a gag. It's gag humor. Do you remember
It
that?
is your favorite.
It is my favorite, and we'll never see his face, and that's okay. I don't want to see his face. I just want to know more about his life from a distance.
Also, Suzuki, so it's almost her birthday, and my girl got highlights.
Yes, okay, you noticed that too. I was like, wait, does she get white streaks in her hair?
Well, because I noticed it at first when Tawny was giving her White Day gift, and they were outside in the sun. And so I was like, oh, are they just like animating it like that to like show that it's like glistening in the sun? But then later on in the classroom, she had it too. And I was like, wait, why did my girl get highlights? That's cute.
It's really cute, but when I was like, wait, did she get like white streaks in her hair? Malachi goes, because he read the manga before this, he introduced me to it. He goes, yep, she did. And I'm like, why are you saying it like that? Why are you saying it like it's supposed to be like a giant like thing? Like, so like clearly it comes up if he like says it with such like affirmation.
That's
So
weird that he said it like
that is
that.
weird.
Did you
Yeah.
did you actually confirm that he meant to say it like that, or did you just assume he said it like that?
I just assume well that's how he said it.
Well, I know, but
Um
like maybe you're reading into it too much.
no, impossible.
It could never happen.
I don't read too much into anything. Like I'm not like no.
Okay.
Um
Well, obviously the highlights mean something big.
I just don't know, maybe they don't, but I'm like but that's kind of weird. I do like the aspect of the show. It's like a character can but that's the thing. Usually when someone changes something about their appearance, this show has like pointed it out.
Yeah, that's what's interesting, but I did kind of I was like, oh, is she just allowed to be like creative with how she looks and it not be like a big deal? Because I kind of like that. That's cute.
I like that too. I just have noticed that when a character does something different with their appearance, someone else notices. Um, like even Nishi when she like what she cut her bangs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was for a reason and it was like a big deal.
When you think
And
maybe she'd be
Suzuki,
like, I did it for spring break. Like, I don't know, something like cute like that, but she didn't even say it.
yeah. And like her pink hair has been like such a like her like what is it called? It's like her signature.
Signature?
Her pink hair is her pink hair is her signature. So I'm like, okay, kind of weird that you're adding white streaks to it all of a sudden. Um,
Yeah.
or maybe it was just for White Day. Who knows? Maybe she just did it.
You know what? Maybe she did actually. Now that you
White
say
streaks to
that,
celebrate White Day.
because I'm thinking about how Trinity did like the concealer streaks in her hair at the end of Love Island.
They're totally concealer streaks.
Like maybe she did like the same type of vibe where she got like, the white hair paint and like chalk and she just was like, let me do little white streaks for White Day. Like I could totally see her. But then why wouldn't she have said something? Why wouldn't they have had that as a part?
That's also why I'm like, okay, interesting. And do you know why we can sit here and discuss this and like why it's a talking point? Is because this show is so good about character design. It's like actually
Mhm.
important to the story.
And like, yeah, they really made her such a full character that like something as simple as her having highlights, we're like, what's going on?
Wait a damn
She has
minute.
highlights. I have to give some big ups to my boy Tawny because he is transcending the game with his White Day gift. He
Oh
gave
my
her
god.
treats, multiple treats.
Multiple treats.
After we were just talking about how we think that guys don't give the treats for White Day because the girls are fat.
Yeah, nope, he got her multiple treats and one of them was a colorful bear and he was like, "I thought you would like this." And she does. She's obsessed with it.
She
But
loved it.
then on top of that, more treats and they're things that she was like, "Did you get them from the same place?" No, he got them from a different place. He went out of his way to another place to get her extra treats.
That's like the way she was acting with that was so you coded.
I know.
Like I was like, me personally could not give a rip. Like could not care less if you got stuff for me all at the same place or different places. But I like the way she was like, wait, you went to different places? I was like, that's literally exactly how you would act.
That's why I noticed. That's why I brought because it's like, oh, he's being extra thoughtful. It wasn't just like convenient to get there. It wasn't like a 2-for-1 deal or anything. He was just like, she would like these, and so he went and got them. And yeah, she was really excited about it. I love the bear. The bear was cute. Perfect choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yamada's White Day gift for Nishi. Um, oh no, what was it? Was it just
It didn't really show what it was, or at least my TV was kind of glitching too, by the way, near this like second half of the episode. But he just said he was like, my sister likes these, so I wanted you to have some too. And I assumed it was some type of makeup or like beauty product.
Oh, I thought it was just like food. I,
Oh,
I thought it
well,
was a treat.
because it didn't show it outside of like just in the bag. Like he just handed it to her and it didn't really like go into depth unless it was glitching for me.
Hold on.
But
I'm gonna Google it real quick because I have my iPad and I can do that.
okay, because to me it looked like maybe like wipes or something or like face masks in the bag. And the way he was like, my older sister really likes these, so I thought you might too. I was like, oh, maybe it's like a cool product.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, listen, I know what White Day is, but what did he give her?
Yeah, this show, I gotta say, not as popular as our other shows we've watched because, and I can tell because when I'm making the thumbnail, there's not the same amount of pictures that are available of the new episodes.
That's crazy.
Like I
It's a
have to kind of like I have to get creative when I'm looking for pictures. Maybe it's also because I'm making the thumbnail the same day the episode comes out, but yeah, like there
that
is
has to
very
be it.
select images. It's crazy.
That has to be it because I'm like, this romance anime was popular enough to get a second season right away.
What did you
Um,
Google to find that result?
what result?
Like you didn't find any results. What did you Google?
I wrote Yamada and Nishi White Day present.
Okay, so say you didn't even put you and I are polar opposites.
No, I didn't. But it knows
It
what
should
I'm
know.
talking about though, because it's got pictures of them, but it's nothing with the present.
Hmm.
It's them
I
walking past the Valentine's Day display.
Interesting. Well, yeah, they didn't really like emphasize what it was. He just said my older sister likes these, and so I thought you might. And so to me, I thought it was like a beauty product, but it could have been treats.
Okay, if anyone knows what he got her for White Day, please tell us because I think it's weird if we don't know what it is. I'm like, am
No,
I stupid?
exactly.
Did I miss that?
I reserve all right to be wrong because my TV decided to start glitching. It really could not handle the scene of Tida when it like gets the like kind of
When he's overthinking.
Yeah, when he's overthinking and it's like freaking tie-dye, like
Oh,
psychedelic behind him, my TV
yeah.
could not handle that, apparently. I don't know what was going on, but it just started glitching and like it got super pixely. And this happened before with the outro, but and then it could never recover from there. Like I went back, I went out, I went back in, I tried to like restart it. It never recovered. And it just got to the point where it was like the rest of the episode, the video and the audio were like desynced. So I was just like kind of trying to follow along.
I thought you and Taylor like had like a really good high quality TV. But you know
Well, here's
who's
the
like
thing
really
is we do
shitty old
have
small TV has never had that problem? Mine.
well, the thing is we do have a good TV, but we recently got a Fire Stick um instead of using the PlayStation, and I think it might be the Fire Stick. Um but also the TV that we're on is actually our oldest TV. So, to be fair.
Okay. I'm just saying. Last White Day present is for some reason the couple that has like the most, I don't know. I don't know what it is about them for why we're so obsessed with them.
They're
But
buzzy.
they're buzzy. Tida reciprocated the piece of gum she gave to him and was like, "Happy Valentine's Day, here's some gum." He not only did he give her a treat back, he gave her a handful of different treats, and she was like, she just stared at them forever.
I
She was
know.
like, she was trying to process, um, because he had to give reciprocal treats to, you know, the girls who got him one for an obligation. They talked about that briefly in classrooms too. He was like, "By the way," and then she just like couldn't stop staring at them. And then when they got off the bus or the train and they're like saying goodbye, she's like, "Wait, do you want to hang out longer?"
No, literally. Well, she goes, "Do you want to go get something to eat?" And he was like, what?" Like he's like stopped in his track. And then she's like, "I mean, not because I'm like hungry, but just because I want to like spend more time with you." And he goes, "I get it." And then he like one like cut later, he's like, "Why did I say that?"
Idiot. But he does this
Stupid,
like
stupid.
his nervous smile, it's like a squiggle. It's like
Oh, and he was talking about how like he doesn't like to laugh because he was made fun of for his laugh. And that is the craziest thing in the world because there is few things in this world better than someone having a crazy laugh. Like I
it's so
love an
fun.
insane laugh.
Yeah, it's like such a cute like personality thing. I love and like I would never be like, "Don't stop laughing because it's really annoying."
And you
That's
know
a
what?
crazy thing.
Low key, he actually is still me. I didn't even think about this until now, but I low key used to get made fun of for my laugh when I was a kid. But like, I had too much confidence in myself. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep laughing. But I would like, people would say I would laugh like a chipmunk.
You
Like,
know what? I kind of
no. You're like, actually, wait, that tracks.
well, I'm thinking about how you laugh now, and then I'm picturing you younger, so it's higher pitched, and I'm like,
Mm.
actually, okay, I can see where they're getting that from.
No, I
Um,
do. I think that they were like low key accurate, but and it definitely like it happened enough times that I was like aware of it. And I would try to dial it down like sometimes if I didn't feel like it was like an appropriate time, but I never let it like impact me as much as he has. He really takes things to the extreme.
and anything that anyone says at any time, he takes that and buries it deeply deep, and like it's a part of him forever. He takes things that people say to him, the negative things people say to him, by the way, and like
Literally.
holds them really close to his chest, and just assumes that everyone, and he is aware of it too. He's like, why did I just assume that these people were making fun of me? That's so stupid. This is a problem that I have within myself still, and it doesn't, he's like going on the spiral, right? But then Azuma like just starts talking to him, and he's like, what was I freaking out about again? And I'm
I
like,
know.
yes, exactly. That's exactly what it's like to like be an anxious person and then to be around your safe person. It's like, wait, I was freaking out over I don't even know anymore.
Yeah,
Um
it really is. And it really was sweet too that he very naturally opened up to her because she was like, "You don't really laugh a lot, do you?" And he very naturally was like, just told her what the situation was. And he even was like, "Why am I telling her this?" But it's like that is how it is. Like when you're around somebody that you just click with and that you trust, like it's just like, "Oh, well, this is how I am, and like here's a vulnerable thing about me." And she just was like, "That's not cool. Like, they should not be making fun of how you laugh." And then he laughs later on with her, like, and he's able to actually just like be goofy and silly with her. And she even has a thought. She's like, "Oh, that is kind of a silly laugh." And it's just sweet. Like, I just love them.
It is sweet. And it like shows them in the restaurant. And like this is the most normal he's behaved. Oh my god. Okay. So early in the episode in the classroom, her and the girls are talking about this show that they're watching with what's his name? Sudakin, that was mentioned in the very first season that hold on. Suzuki has a crush on his character, and in the
Oh,
first
yes.
season, Tani was like, "Listen, I get it, you like bad boys, and I should try and be more like that. But that said, I'm not going to do anything illegal." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" But so they're talking about that same character, again, and how there's this line of dialogue he has, which is a crazy line of dialogue, by the way, where he's like, "Eyes on me," um, or like, "Look only at me." Which is crazy. I also would be freaking out about that line if it was in a show I was watching.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
for sure. But then Taira and Azuma are in the restaurant together, and he's like freaking out. He's like, "This is my neighborhood. What if there's someone I know here?" And she's like, and she goes, "Look only at me." And then she's like, "Oh, it's in that show I was watching. Sorry if I made your heart skip a beat."
No, they're so cute. I love them.
And then they're being normal together. They're not being she's not being like, she's not being her like usual self where she likes people who treat her badly. Cuz she said that that's her usual type. Her type is someone who love bombs her and then treats her really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not worrying about constantly what everyone else around them is thinking of him. He's only thinking about like how he's interacting with her. Um, and so it's like they're comfortable with each other and it's good for them.
It is. I wonder, like, I'm really curious where all of these relationship dynamics are going to go in this like second half of the season, and I'm curious if we're going to get a season 3 or if it's going to be like over after this, and I'm curious how their like last year of high school is going to go. Like I wonder if anybody is like clued in on Tide Azuma. Like I'm like, is Suzuki like aware of what's going on? Like she was with Yamada and Nishi, or is everybody like blissfully unaware of what's going on?
Wait, that's so true. That's so true because no one would notice them going out of their way to hang out together because they take the same train anyways. And they're in
Exactly.
the same friend group, so it's normal for them to be interacting. So you're right. I don't know, like, and like Suzuki loves like a good juicy like relationship like
Mm-hmm.
blossoming. That
Well, and she
like,
does. Last episode, she called them like Tide Azuma, like she called them their ship name. So it's like there's something that she's aware of, but I feel like she also wouldn't say that if she actually thought they liked each other, you know?
She wouldn't. That's the thing. She called them Taira and Azuma in the first season, just like as a way of being like, oh, here's these two people that I know standing next to each other. I'm gonna address them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But also as a viewer, that's kind of foreshadowing.
It is. I need to
It
go back
is.
and rewatch season 1 and rewatch all the dub episodes of this.
Yeah, I was watching the dub of this too, and I'm like, oh man, like Tawny, he may not have been Xavier's English voice actor like I thought he was, but he does an amazing job. Everyone does so good. Also, Taira and Tawny, wow, that is so annoying. There's too many characters in this show. But when they're talking, having a conversation together, I was watching it in English. Like the Christmas episode when they're like hanging out outside of the convenience store. When they were talking to each other and I wasn't looking, I could not tell who was talking. They both,
That's funny.
yeah, they both like sound like kind of gloomy and like they have deeper voices.
Hmm.
Um so but everyone does a great job. To answer your question, so the first season was only from like maybe September to December. So that's like half of a school year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This season so far, we've had kind of not really even half of a school year, a like a piece of a school year, and
We got
now
like
they're
a
going into their
trimester.
yeah. Now it's going into the trimester. Wow. Um So who's pregnant? So they're going into their last year of high school. I think my prediction is we will get one more season, season 3, and it'll go through their high school graduation. And then like graduation will be the last thing we see of them.
Okay, interesting. I see, and like with that, I'm like, I just don't know how they can draw out Tide Azuma any longer. Like,
They well, he's stupid. He is both like super socially aware and also completely socially oblivious. So I think, and like mind you, Azuma is just barely realizing that she doesn't even know what to call a feeling she has for him. She's like, all I know is that I'm walking away from him and I'm feeling anxious, and when I'm with him I feel happy. And
mm-hmm.
that's all she's got so far. She's like, okay, so I'm feeling something and I don't know what it is. So first, she has to identify that. And then he has to identify the feeling within himself. And then they have to realize that it's mutual. And then they have to be like, okay, so are we going to do anything about this? Are we going to call it what you want, if you will? Um, right? Wait, add it to the playlist.
Yeah, literally. What was the other song that you said was their song?
Stupid song by Olivia Rodrigo, because
It's
they
literally
they
so
would
true.
call love songs stupid, and like they are each other's like spark in the dark. And I can just like picture them, like it starts out very slow, but then I can picture them running to each other once they figure out how they feel.
It's so Taida too to be like, you should feel how I feel when somebody says your name. My
Yeah, well,
overthinking Libra King.
I yeah, wow. Wait, do we know what she is yet?
She was a Gemini, remember? We
She's a
looked it up.
Gemini. Okay, it's Libra and a Gemini, but I think we might. No, that's not their song at all, though, I don't think. Um,
No, that's more of our main two, Suzuki and Tani.
yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, they're so stupid song. So I think they actually have like quite the journey to take. Um,
Aries and a Scorpio, but I think
but
we
I
might
think we
go
might
really
be
nice
really nice
together.
together.
Sorry, I was trying to remember
Yes.
what they were.
Aries and a Scorpio. Oh yeah, that's the I think we'll have her birthday over spring break next episode, because her birthday was coming up. Also, maybe she got just like streaks in her hair for her birthday. I don't know.
Spring break. I don't
But
know. Maybe she wants new hair for the new school year, new grade. I don't know. Maybe they'll talk about it next week.
but this does also confirm that she is an Aries because her birthday is in late March, because we had White Day, which is March 15th, and her birthday hasn't happened yet. So her birthday's later in the month. So confirmed, she's an Aries.
Yep. Well, and she even said her birthday's during spring break.
Yeah. Exactly. So the point is, once again, astrology matters. And
you get one
I
thing
think
from this podcast. Astrology matters, guys.
it does, because every time we talk about a new show or watch, okay, the things, if you're new to this podcast,
yes,
the things you can always look forward to us discussing is a character's astrology, and if they'd be a good astrological match, what the character playlist is, specifically their Taylor Swift playlist.
Yep.
And
which
funny
superheroes
anecdote.
they are, or other shows.
Yes, superheroes, and Becca telling me to watch things that I'm not going to watch, and me telling Becca to watch things that she's not going to watch. And that's what you get here at Anime for Blondes. You do not have to be blonde, by the way, to watch this podcast, because this is for the girls, gays, theys, and blondes. And not to mention, and like once again, it's a play on of Anime for Dummies, but it's blondes instead of dummies.
Because of, like the toxic female stereotypes, dumb blondes. You guys know the drill. We don't have to explain it to them, Elisa. Or that's not your name. Oh no, a peek behind the curtain.
Not you just saying my real name.
A peek behind the curtain of your real name. What will we do?
No one can know what my name is. No, I'm saying this because we got another comment, a very recent comment being like, oh, dang, can't watch this podcast, I'm not blonde. So I just had to reiterate, you can watch this podcast even if you're not blonde. And make sure
even
you're
men can watch
us on
this
social
podcast.
Media. Huh?
We've allowed men to watch this podcast.
Yeah, two of our biggest fans are men. And neither of them are blonde.
All are welcome here as long as you are willing to be girly pop with us. So
exactly. And to be girly pop with us, you also have to be following us on social media at Anime for Blondes Pod, on Instagram and TikTok.
And like I mentioned in the beginning, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Comment below your thoughts on this episode, your thoughts on which couple is on top, because it stays Tida and Azuma for me. But we will see you guys next week. Have a great week. Bye!
Anime for Blondes.